Internet is full of content saying that the collapse of the United Kingdom is inevitable, that the collapse of the British pound just started. But we have to ask ourselves, is it really so scary? Is it really so bad? Maybe that will never happen. Or maybe the collapse of the British pound actually has happened already, and the collapse of the British economy actually has happened 50 years ago, as the British pound is losing for last 50 years too many currencies and too many other assets. Well, we have to ask ourselves simple questions. Is it really truth? Is it worth believing, watching this scary movie about the collapse of the United Kingdom? Well, are there any data, real evidence showing clearly that that is clear that the United Kingdom is collapsing? As it is a little bit scary to talk like this about 70 million people, as there are 70 million people, and this is scary for them that their economy is going down. This is not nice, lying or making people scared, So we are going to try to answer the question, or maybe this topic of collapsing of the British economy. We know that there are more topics like this, like the collapse of the US dollar, or the rise of China, or maybe the collapse of the European Union. Everything is going to collapse. Actually, the YouTube is full of the creations, content like this, movies like this, people talking about this, people telling that it is happening. Well, so we have to check first the real data. What is behind this topic? First of all, we are going to check this British pound to one of the nicest currency in the world, and this is chief. Of course, this is Swiss franc. And if we check the Swiss franc, the GBP to Swiss franc, we have something that is going down. And what is going down? Well, British pound is going down. So, really, if we check it, look, 1974, 1 million British pounds was worth 6.6 million Swiss francs. And it went down in last 50 years until today. Look at this: 6, 5, 4, 3 mil, 2 mil, 1 mil, and to today's point 1 mil. So it went down. The British pound went down, been going down for last 50 years against Swiss franc. If you had 1 million British pound and you exchanged this 1 million pounds to Swiss franc in 1974, today you would have 6.6 million francs. But today 6.6 million francs is not anymore. It's no more 1 million British pounds, but it is almost equal, 6.6 million British pounds. So actually, the question is, when the British pound has collapsed, or when the process has begun, when it did happen. And we can see that the British pound is going down at least since 1974 to Swiss franc. This is first data. So maybe that's why Swiss people earn 3 times more than British people. Maybe this is why Swiss people have interest rate on mortgages 1% or 1.5 or 1.75 or 1.99, and the British people have 5%, 6%, 7%. Maybe this is why inflation in Great Britain, in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland is 3.3, and inflation in Switzerland is almost zero. Maybe this is why it is happening. So we've got answer for this question, at least against the Swiss franc and the Swiss economy, Swiss inflation, Swiss. You see, we must understand that it is very big difference to have mortgages 1.5 or 5 or 6. Mortgage 1.5 means that for every 1 million euro, let's say we take like a different currency than and GBP. 1.5 means percent, 1.5 mortgage rate means 15,000 euros per 1 million per 1 year, okay? This is what Swiss pay. The British in their country, they pay 50k. So Swiss people pay 15k and British pay 50k or 60k. So or if they've got more expensive mortgages in Switzerland, then it is 2%. So that is 20,000 euros, and the British must pay around 50-60. So can you imagine that? It is not even comparable. You can't compare those two economies at the moment. Well, yes, something can happen to the Swiss. I'm not against British or Swiss. I like both, and it is very sad that something is going down so much because people are losing. But this is the case that the other people are gaining. Switzerland is gaining. British people are losing, okay? And they are losing strongly. So if we compare those two economies, because you see, many people still consider the Britain as a good place to live. Well, yeah, but those people are not Europeans. Those people are not Europeans. Maybe still some Romanians, Bulgarians, maybe still some other nations in Europe like Albanians widely, because there are, of course, many people from Europe in the United Kingdom, but they are living. As the standard of life in the United Kingdom is going down, is depreciating now. Why is that happening? Well, many factors, but we wanted to answer. We don't want to create reality. I want to create answers based on data. Swiss franc is going up, British pound is going down. Mortgages in Switzerland 1.5, mortgages in United Kingdom 5-6. Some of them 4 maybe. Some. The inflation in Switzerland is almost 0, in United Kingdom 3.3 and growing. Okay, and there are many more things, like let's say the pension system. The pension system is so broken in the United Kingdom that even some of the countries in the European Union are getting better pensions than British at the moment. Some, well, the most of the European Union countries get better pensions than in the United Kingdom. But I am talking about the new European countries, new European Union countries. There are no new European countries. Europe is a continent. You can't be attached to Europe. You are European or you are not European. You can be in the European Union, which is like. Well, it is not, but it is like United States. Okay, those are the countries that are united in the Union. Okay, there been many unions in the Europe, actually we can start from the unions that been forced by force, like Greek Empire or Roman Empire and Frankish Empire, and maybe we can say that there was also this Holy Roman Empire and Commonwealth, Lithuanian Polish Commonwealth, that was actually the biggest country in Europe that time for many centuries. That was a Commonwealth. Like, actually, I think the Commonwealth, the idea, the British took the idea of Commonwealth from Poland, as I guess, as the Commonwealth in Poland was faster created than the Commonwealth in Britain. So I think they got this idea of Commonwealth from Poland. The British copy a lot of things from the Poland, and they say that is theirs. Like, they copied actually also the Gresham law, but the thing is that the Gresham law been written by the Copernicus, Mikołaj Copernicus from Toruń in Poland. So this was a Polish guy, Copernicus, because he was an astronomus, and he written this law of the bad money and good money, and actually he did it when the Gresham was actually born. So the Gresham was infant, and the Copernicus was reading this law, and he just he called the British called this law, because the Gresham just studied it. The British called this law the Gresham law. But this was Copernicus law. But that law actually was even before known, but never was. They say that was known centuries and centuries ago, but people forgot about it throughout the Dark Ages as such. I don't know if they knew, but we know that this law is been actually invented by Copernicus from Poland, but in English sphere they say this is a Gresham law. This is the same with the Enigma. Actually, Enigma was broken, and with the Poles first got the Enigma, and then broke many things, and then to the end, the British scientists took over because Poland was invaded. But they say the only British broke the Enigma. This is another pure lie, etc. This is how they do. this is how they do, but well. The thing is that ladies and gentlemen, that if we compare to Switzerland, the England is broke if we compare it to Switzerland. But if we compare many economies, please be quiet. If we compare many economies to Swiss economy, then those economies look broken. So not only British economy looks broken comparing to Swiss economy. so for the British, calm down. But this is reality, okay? This is reality, that the British economy is falling behind the Swiss economy. But many economies falling behind the Swiss economy. So please be patient, and I will proceed. So the Swiss franc win. Switzerland is winning, like its master economy. British, is just going down. Another thing, is it really collapsing? Well, what would collapse? How would this economy collapse to other things? We have to check. Let's say gold. Look, gold, and this is GBP. In 2006, 1 ounce of gold was 300 pounds. Today is 24, 23, and was 24. Probably it will go up more. So it is 8 times more than in 2015. And so it is losing a lot. So it is losing, considering that they've got 4.5 interest rate on their currency, on the British pound, and it is not growing against gold. It is losing against gold strongly with the high inflation. I bet it is very good indicator showing the strength of their economy, which is very low, very weak, very weak. Okay. Another example, maybe some example outside of the Europe. We can take US GBP, USD, and look at this. What happened to USD? Well, actually, British people, they had a quite good life once. Look, in 1971, £1 was $2.64. Okay, so for £1,000 you would get almost $3,000, and then it went down to 1.5 and went up to 2.5 again. Okay, but then it crashed again in 1985 to 1, and then it went up to 2. Okay, and that was the last long period when the British pound was quite high. Look, quite high. It was quite high. Look, it was quite high here. Quite high. It was quite high, 160. But now it is 192.99. Sorry, 122. But it was, you see, 1 to 1. 1 to 1. And this was period when British pound was very expensive, middle expensive, and very cheap. Okay, so today it is almost 1 to 1. 1 to 1. 1 to 1. You would feel very good in 2007, let's say, in 2006, when you had £1,000, you would get $2,000. Today, if you have £1,000, you have 1,300 only, and in some days you would get only like 1,100. So they are much poorer, and the earnings are not going up as fast as in the United States. United States has its own problems, but they've got big problems. Every country has some problem, and their currency is still a world currency. Still, the thing that is for this few decades, their earnings, pensions, wealth, stock market growth was very fast, much faster than in the United Kingdom. United States has its own problems. Every country has a problem. Every country. There is no the best place. There is no the best shop that you make shop. You can find always something that makes you angry, or they want to cheat on you, or something is bad. Well, this is how it is. There is no perfect world. There is no perfect woman. There is no perfect man. Okay, and what would we say? United States, US is not the best economy, but it's much stronger per capita than the UK. It is beating United Kingdom strongly. And if I had to choose to live in Florida, I rather live in Florida than in the United Kingdom, I think. I don't know. I like Europe, but well, everything can happen in the United States. But in last few decades, the growth in the United States, the big tech, the US dollar actually recovered. It is going down now, but it's recovered. It's from since 2007. It is tough time for British. Nothing today, nothing for the British pound is showing. You see, this is real collapse of the British pound. As British pound was $3 per £1, and now it is one almost. Well, 1.29. It was one, but they've got the same interest. This is very interesting, as the British, they've got today the same interest rate as the United States. They've got the same interest rate. This is very interesting. But if you take, more people rather keep their money in US dollar than British pound, I think. And so the collapse of the British pound not just happened, not hasn't happened just now. It's been with us for decades. From $3 per £1 to 2, 150, 1, today 130. Inflation is soaring in Britain. The inflation in France and Italy is 1%. In Britain 3.3, and they've got high interest rate. But in the European Union they've got very low interest rate, very cheap mortgages, very cheap money, which is very big problem for people, for families in UK. Interest rate in Eurozone, which is the second biggest currency in the world, because the US dollar is the most important, the best, blah 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 currency. Well, the best, the biggest and the most important. Second, I think, is euro. And then on third place, maybe euro will be taken soon by Chinese yuan, maybe Indian rupee, maybe in 10 years. Chinese maybe will take over euro faster, the Chinese yuan. And on fourth place, maybe it is Japanese yen, maybe Swiss franc, maybe British pound, but British pound is going bye-bye. Okay. So, on those charts, the collapse of the British pound been with us for decades. It is going down and down and down. The depreciation of the standard of living in the United Kingdom is going down and down and down. Can you imagine that many countries in the European Union, they've got pension age 55 years or 60? Can you imagine 55 or 60? And in the United Kingdom, you've got 68 for both men and male. Can you imagine that? This is how it is. Well, the final answer on those data, we will come back to the topic, on those data, is that yes, the collapse of the British pound, as we may imagine British pound, has begun long time ago, and it is happening now. To Swiss franc, to dollar. Okay. That's it. We can find out more data, and we're gonna proceed finding new findings, analyzing new data, and we're gonna check it, and we're gonna try to read if there is something good for the British economy. Well, for what is good for the British economy at the moment, for what is good for British, that they are on island. That they are on island. It is good because they are on island. This is great. That is not changeable, I think. At least with the oceans and are surrounding the British Isles. For now. Okay. And it's good because they don't have borders. They don't have to protect. But I don't know why. But those people are coming from those boats. I don't know why they. Whatever. And this is good with Britain. That this is the advantage that this is advantage and actually disadvantage, but this is I will take it as an advantage at today's days. Thank you. Please subscribe my channel. Please send it to your mom, to your dad, to your sister, to your father, mother, brother, and other cousins, so they understand what is happening around the world. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, notify, like, comment. Thank you. Speak you with you soon.